Hey students, Mr. Elting here with you. I just want to spend a couple minutes to talk to you about ALEKS. We haven't gotten a good chance to hash out some of our expectations and norms, so I just wanted to do that a little bit today. Obviously, when you sign in, you guys have probably noticed this big pie chart by now, and I just want to remind you that each one of these colors, each one of these pie slices, except for the first four, all correspond to a unit of study this year. So if you're like me right now, it probably has you something in the realm of linear equations, which is the topic that we are working on right now. And again, depending on how well you do on a knowledge check, it will credit you certain amounts of topics. So I've only learned one topic, but I already had 10 mastered based on my knowledge check. Eventually, you guys will get another knowledge check, and it's in your benefit to do as well as you can because basically you get free topics for doing well on it. So let's take a look here. When I hit continue my path today, obviously we've been in ALEKS. We know what this looks like. I've got my tic tacs at the top. I need to solve this. Today, what I want to talk about is how we're going to organize ourselves. So I've asked you guys to purchase some sort of notebook or at least loose leaf paper that you can have on hand to work on ALEKS. And I would recommend literally having something where you can write down notes. This is important for a couple of reasons. Number one, once we get into this, everyone in this room at some point will have a topic that they just get stumped on, and it takes them multiple days to figure out. Eventually, you learn it, but then you're going to see that topic on your knowledge check. So the way this works is you learn a topic, and once a topic is learned, it then sort of goes into this bank, this list of questions that can then be cycled into your next knowledge check. It can assess you on everything, but it will assess you on some things. And so if you get that question wrong, the topic that you really struggled with, it's going to unlearn it and it's going to send it right back. And so I've had students who unfortunately have been stuck on really challenging topics all year long, and they learn it, unlearn it, learn it, unlearn it. And you don't want that to happen to you. So my advice is to keep some brief notes. And these are things that you are welcome to use and reference later in the year when you take your knowledge checks. So you can get as organized as you want with this. Some people like to go back to their pie slice and actually make a table of contents in their notebook. I'm not asking that you do that. Oh, let's see if I can get home here. I'm not asking that you do that. You can see all of the units listed here. If you wanted to go through starting with linear equations and write down equations, inequalities, functions, systems, exponents, polynomials, quadratics, et cetera, and literally, assign some page numbers. So, maybe page 1 through 10. I should put that the other way. Page 1 through 10 is equations in your notebook. You can do that if you want. Inequalities, 11 through 20, you divide it up in whatever way makes sense to you. I don't necessarily recommend that, but here's what I am going to recommend today. And I just want to model this so you can see it plain and clear. When you're here on ALEKS and we actually learn a topic, you're going to do one of two things. One, at the very least, most of these topics are going to require you to do some sort of work on paper. This equation's possible in our head, but because it has a negative, most of us are probably going to struggle to do this mentally. So you know what? Might as well just use our ALEKS notebook as scrap paper. Let's say we already know how to do this. Let's see here. 14 plus 12y. Excuse me, I did not read the rest. 14 plus 12y equals negative 16 plus 9y. And I can go ahead and start rocking this out. Minus 9y from each side. Awesome. 14 plus 3y equals negative 16, etc., etc. And that's just a good practice to keep all of my work in one place. That way I can go back. It's easy to check my work if I've made a mistake. But the real reason why I want you to have the notebook is hidden within this. Because here's what's going to happen. A lot of you are going to go in. You're going to pick an answer. Let's say I say it's 5. Wouldn't you know, I'm not right. Guessing isn't, but maybe that was my actual answer, and I'm not sure how to do this. You're going to click on this explanation. It tells me the answer that I have was lost. That's fine. And this is where you might want to consider just jotting down a couple things. At the very least, you might want to write down this example. And in fact, wouldn't you know, this is the exact question I was working on. And so now I can sort of see, oh, I was supposed to subtract 9y first. What was I supposed to do next? I was supposed to subtract 14 from each side. Ah, got it now. And it can at least sort of, you can make a note and circle things, give yourself in your own language, your own words, what am I supposed to be doing on this type of problem? Um, you don't have to copy down everything. In fact, I wouldn't do that. That's going to be too time consuming. And honestly, only do that with the more challenging topics, the ones that you really don't know how to do yet. Once you have more topic, more practice, it'll get you right back out there. Um, I highly advise you do that. And maybe make a note, star each page where you maybe had a challenging topic. That way, when you take your knowledge check, you can sort of flip back through your notebook, look for the stars, and those will be the things that guide you through your next knowledge check. If you have any questions on this, make sure you email me. If you don't have a notebook yet, make sure you try to get one. Otherwise, we'll work that out next time I see you. Guys, thanks. Good luck today. I miss you, and I'll see you soon.